Hello to all my booty seekers and cheek chasers. This is the Carpe Natem Podcast. I'm your host, Nate De La Hoya-Reynoso, and I am so grateful you are listening to this episode. If you're new here, you should know that I believe that my purpose is to uplift, inspire, and educate others to communicate masterfully so that they can better understand themselves and the world around them. I've spent years in the personal development and transformational technology space, and I want to share with you the wisdom that was passed down to me from giants in the industry. So if you're on a journey of self-mastery, just like me, looking to make dreams a reality and willing to be a leader for your family and community, then join me in seizing the butt cheeks of life and giving them a big ol' squeeze. Let's jump into the show. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Carpe Natem Podcast. I'm so excited for my guest today because this was random. I was actually not expecting this episode to happen. I have noticed and seen your podcast. I've seen your stand-up. I know that you do improv. You are multi-talented, and you are the host of Naked Brunch, which has had on some of my favorite comedians, local comedians that I thought were super hilarious on the episodes. But I'm very excited to have Syd in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you so much. That was such a nice introduction.
I didn't really know what to say because this kind of came out of the blue. I think you hit me up and you were like, let's do you actually asked me to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Which was super fun. And then I've had seen clips of it because you had Nico Jordan, you had Daniel West, who are also Carpe Natem alumni.
Nice.
And you have something really interesting going on. Tell me about like what it's about and like how did it come to be?
Yes. So Naked Brunch is, I first thought of the name and I was like, oh, it'll be fun to interview my comedian friends, while we're brunching naked, but not really. We're wearing aprons, so I can put it on YouTube. And then I was like, but it has to have like a concept, I guess. I was like, what am I gonna do on Naked Brunch? And I was like, oh, I'll get down to the naked truth. And then I was like, what is the naked truth? And then, I don't know, that led me to like, oh, the naked truth is whether someone is like real or fake, you know? I don't know why I thought that was the naked truth. And then, I just like, I don't know, there's all these like stupid articles online on like blogs that are like, how to be an authentic person or how to tell if someone's being fake. And they just have like the silliest like suggestions. I don't know, like, you can tell someone's fake if like they're inconsistent or if they make plans and cancel them. And I'm like, that's literally everyone.
Yeah.
So I use those as prompts to like trick people to be fake.
I thought, because when you told me that you try to see if the person is a guest is putting up a facade or is being truthful, it made me think that being naked and just wearing the apron was a metaphor for what you were seeking, because you're trying to get them to be authentic as possible. And how vulnerable is someone when they're butt-ass naked? It's like the ultimate vulnerability, unless you're okay with it, unless you're just okay with whatever's going on.
It's true. Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm really deep like that, so it's definitely, that's what it is. But I should also clarify, no one's naked. We're all wearing pants. We are well, not everyone. A lot of the women are still wearing like shirts or whatever. But we're all wearing our pants. We're just topless.
You're
under an apron.
You're telling the people how the magic is created. You're telling them like the secrets of the smoke.
Yes, exactly. This is a little BTS for you. We're not really naked. It's not.
I love
it's not
that
kind
band.
of show. Oh my God, yeah, they're great. No, they are great. No. You ever been BTS with BTS?
No.
Me neither. I'd love to though. Wow.
I've seen like the fan cults just arise out of nowhere, and it's insane. I feel like that's this generation's NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Even though Backstreet Boys and NSYNC are making a comeback, have you seen that? They're all just...
You know what? I have not seen that.
They just did a show in Texas.
They shouldn't. Oh no.
Backstreet Boys just passed by.
That feels. Oh no. I don't know. Like, come on, guys. You want to go out on a high note, right? You come back in your 40s and try that. I don't know.
It's all for the nostalgia.
I guess.
It's all for like, I grew up on this.
It feels sad. Well, no, maybe, you know what? I'm being negative. I'm sorry. I'm so happy for them. Good for them. You guys are doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. I love it.
Great awareness and turnaround. You were like, oh, caught that. Switch it around.
Yeah. Good for them. You know, it's like you don't do music for decades and you're like, you know what the people need? They need us back now.
And they're just killing it. I'm assuming, and this is me also thinking negative, but like I automatically assume that y'all are broke. Did you lose something? Did you make a bad bet? Because you're coming back.
Yeah.
Aren't you tired?
Yeah.
And then there are some that just do it for the love of the game. You know what? There are people who have never stopped.
Yes.
And those people, I'm like, do it forever.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
But when you go on a hiatus and come back, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm suspicious.
Yeah, like something, that's why it feels sad. You're like, I don't know what's going on in your life, but this is not the move, you know? Yeah.
And then others are just the diehards are the ones who are like, you were my first poster on my wall.
It's true. Like get new crushes, guys. There's so many new, like what? No, I get it. Nostalgia is a thing.
Nothing hits like what was the best in your formative years. Cause you always look back at it in a way that's fond.
Yeah.
Compared to like everything else. You're like, everything else sucked, but I remember this being something I loved. And that's why you look at it. And then you go back and listen to it or watch the movie that you were so in love with or listen to the album that you listened to on repeat and you were like, ugh.
Yeah, wait. Have you done that recently and like been like, no?
Yeah.
What'd you do it with?
I did it with this video I used to watch on YouTube. It's this guy, it's black and white, and he just says like, he's kind of talking into the camera, telling a story, but he's talking it in a very funny way. Mm-hmm. And I watched it again and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Oh no.
I was like, this is bad. And then it made me remind myself, I was just like, oh, I was this kid who thought this was funny. And now I see kids who are like my little brother, I love him to death, a little annoying. Not that annoying, because then there's his friends who are super annoying.
Well, how old's your little brother?
10.
Okay, yeah.
And then I watched this video and I was like, I was him.
Yeah.
So I'm being annoyed. I'm not being annoyed at him. I'm being annoyed at myself because I'm looking at that and being like, oh, that part of me was just like that. He's my little brother.
Yeah.
We share DNA. So of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do it. Got off cycle. I want to talk about the Naked Podcast and the idea that you're trying to make them be as authentic and truthful as possible. Do you think that it's harder now for people to actually drop their facades and just be real than any other time that we've ever been in?
Hey, wait, let me clarify one thing real quick. Then I'll answer this question. I'm not trying to make anyone be authentic on my podcast. I'm actually trying to trick people into being fake. So just in case you're watching and you're like, they don't seem real, it's because I've created a reality that's not true. I cut up and edit things, so like sometimes the reactions are not the reactions in the moment. They're like, I edit it to be like, so my inspiration is like, I really like the Eric Andre show.
Yes.
But I can't I can never be that ridiculous. So it's just like a light version of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
That's so unique.
But to speak to if it's harder to be authentic now, I mean, here's what I'll say. I don't think that this time is particularly special in terms of human behaviors, right? Like I think that in any period you could go back to, you're going to find people are going to be evil in like a similar amount. People are going to be good in a similar amount. People are going to be fake or real or trying to be authentic or like putting on a facade in a similar amount. Sure. I think that like we now today just have the technology and access to technology where we can like see it amplified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a long time ago, like you couldn't share information this quickly. You weren't around this many people in your day to day. So like, yeah, you're just more, I don't think it's hard to be authentic if you want to be. I think it's a lot of people do it perfectly fine. Right?
I do see what you're saying. That these moments in the past used to be isolated events between 2 or 3 people. But now with the access of technology, we're getting on social media platforms and sharing these stories. Yeah. And sometimes they're going absolutely viral. Yeah. So then now what would have only been a memory for 4 to 5 people is now the memory of millions.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I bet you if you go to an Amish community that's not,
They use
with
some
techno.
electricity. I found out about that. So some of them have
and
to.
they have laptops and stuff because they're like the
Sometimes.
major dog breeders. Did you know this?
And that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
It's just like, buddy, we follow the rules except the ones that we kind of have to. We adapt. And I'm like, oh, you adapt?
Yeah. I thought your whole thing was that you don't. But cool.
Yeah.
Good for them to
Light
be
bulbs are the
flexible.
devil. Good for them. Good
Yeah.
for them. They're hardworking. Oh, man.
Jebediah and such. But yeah, I just feel like if you like, I think it's as hard to be authentic now as it ever like was as a human. Like I think that you always, and like people, I think another thing is like people are always, there's like you and I today probably had moments where we were being a little fake with others because it's just part of being human. Like you're adjusting to whoever you're around and like,
you're speaking in a way that other people can resonate with you. And you're absolutely right. I do have certain voices and certain tones that I have with certain people in comparison to other people where it's just more like, even at work, I have coworkers who it's more of like a bro feeling of just like, yeah, we're rough, we're men, we're acting all masculine.
Yeah, can I hear a little sample of that? Would you mind? Pretend I'm one of your bros. Just sup, bro? Like,
no, the idea is just
what's
like,
going on?
You're gonna go see Red Flag this weekend?
Oh, hell yeah,
dude.
Yeah, what is that?
So I don't want to put I'm speaking anonymously, but somebody that I am good friends with is dating a girl, and it seems like it's going really, really well. Mm-hmm. The previous one cried spontaneously during intimacy, and it was like this weird hard fling that was like emotionally hot, and he was like, red flags. So I'm like, and then my joke was like, oh, so you love red flags? I'm like, those are perfect. So now I call his current love interest red flag, but she sounds like she's absolutely wonderful and sweet and caring and has like a good schedule and just like.
Wow, that totally went somewhere I was not expecting. I was like, is Red Flags a movie that I don't know about? But that was like a real personal, intimate story, and I appreciate you for sharing it.
Yeah. And then when I talk to my boss, it's like, hey, so just to let you know, we have the reports coming out, and I just want to make sure that this gets your blessing.
Yeah.
So that talk is not going to how I talk to my friend Brian, where I'm like, what's up, bro? So, and I do that sometimes, but we're doing it. We speak normally, but we do talk in a way that's just like a little bit rough. And it's even with this podcast, I am trying to be authentic and real as possible. That's why I love sharing things that inspire me. I want to inspire others. It's a genuine thing that I want to do, but I also like being silly. And when somebody's being unapologetic or really truly being themselves, it gets criticized so easily because maybe I find humor that other people find offensive, or maybe something I say comes off and just catches wind. I have several comedians that have come on, and they get silly. They immediately start talking about their dicks, and it's like, I think that's hilarious.
Oh, dicks are the most funny.
They look so silly.
Yeah.
so like those conversations are there. So when you have an audience that you're building, I hope that they can see that it's not just the positive motivation, the gotta work hard, hustle. There's that. And be silly, have a good time, have fun with it.
Exactly. I have like the complete, like, I'm just silly. I'm like, don't work hard, don't have motivation. Just, my thing is just be goofy and, take it easy. Don't, life is short, we should just, I don't want to hustle and work hard. I just want to cruise through life. You know what I mean? Just hope that it works out.
That's what you're saying, but your actions dictate otherwise. It's a contradictory because you do so much. And I admire people who are going to open mics. You also do improv, and then you're also doing your show. Yeah. So for someone who's lazy as fuck, you're killing it. So it's like, I love that drive. Where does that come from? Somewhere? Does that
mostly from hating to do any other work? To be honest, I've had so many different jobs, and I've hated them all mostly equally. I have one. Oh my God, my job now. Like I'm grateful like that the work culture is really nice. Mm-hmm. But my previous job, I was working, just before this, I was working as a behavioral technician with kids with autism. So that was like
cool.
Sometimes very fun and rewarding because the kids were cool, but like a lot of the time it was just so draining because like you're trying to get data on these kids and you're trying to like work on programs with them. And that was just really stressful. Mm-hmm. And then before that, I was working in television production, mostly with costumes departments. So I was a coordinator, and I would coordinate the day-to-day of the costumes department. It was just so, like, production life was not for me. And I did it for, like, 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. Just, what a terrible time.
What about it did you not like? Because sometimes when people really, it seems like you're really good at content creation as well as like entertaining. So you were in the field of, but you just didn't
I
like.
was doing no entertaining. So I was not performing at all and like not being able to create. It was all logistics. And I can do it. I just hate it. Like trying to like stay organized and stay on top of things and like plan. I hate nothing more than a plan. Like my God, like I'm the worst, maybe the worst or the best person to go on vacation with because, like, I do not want to have a plan. Like, I just want to go there and, like, figure it out. And sometimes that can be stressful, right? Because, like, you can get there, you haven't made any reservations, so you don't get to eat at the places you want to go. Like, you couldn't get on this tour or, like, and it can be a mess. But I thrive in chaos, I find.
Same. Where I'm a little bit of both, where I don't really like too tight of plans, but I do kind of research a place that I'm going to go to, pick out and then I'm just like, okay, here's 15 restaurants. If we hit like 3 of these during the time, win.
Yeah. I'll do a little pre-research, but like, making a plan is just so annoying to me. Yeah.
Right now, with our trip that we're going to come up with, we ended up deciding that we were going to rent a car because renting a car, you just need to, and where we're going. And the person that we're going with is already stressing about like, we got to get a car. As soon as we get there, we're going to get a car. So like, how about we get there? And then let's explore. Yeah. Like what if everything that we want to do is within walking distance or at least one bus ride away? Yeah. And if by chance we need a car starting day one, we'll do it. But let's get there first.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Without planning, you love doing adventures, just kind of having.
Yeah. Or
you like surprises. Do you like just the spontaneousness of it?
I think I just like, well, it's just that truly like the only reason I'm planning things is because I'm at work, right? Like I'm getting paid to do it. If there's not that incentive, like I don't mind just like going and doing things. Like a lot of times when I do things with like my real friends who like know me, it's like we don't plan anything. We're just like, hey, what are you doing right now? And then we'll like go do it. So that's kind of how I live my life outside of work. I don't have a plan, and that's just how I live my life this whole time, which is why I'm here now. I don't know.
I love it. It's spontaneous. It's fun. It's very in the moment, and that's something that I struggle with personally. Is just being present. Yeah, and just being in a space where I can enjoy what's happening. Because do you ever catch yourself having full ass conversations with people, like multiple people at the same time, and predicting their responses and having like these whole scenarios play out in your head?
Yeah, I also like, I'm not that I have social anxiety, but like I do like worry about people like if they're having a good time with me in the conversation. And so I'm constantly like checking on like the emotion, like the cute, like looking at people's faces and body language, like making sure that like what I'm saying is not like, I don't know,
boring them.
Yeah. And like if I notice like people's attention drifting, then I'll just get in my head. Like, I don't know. So like I actually it's not happening now, but I do sometimes like I'll be in such a state of like trying to figure and analyze the situation that I actually don't hear anything someone's saying. So I'm learning now. I'm more comfortable with that, so I can be like, I'm so sorry, I totally zoned out. Can you repeat like what you're saying? Whereas like a long time ago, I would like be like,
I still do that.
Yeah, of course. And then people, and I don't know what's going on. And I think that I definitely ruined some friendships that way.
At least you admit it, because what I'll do is I'll like zone out, zone back in, hear the last couple of words, then repeat the last couple of words, and I'll say something along like, so what you're really upset about is the da, and then they're like, yeah, and I'm like, ooh, okay.
Oh wow, look at that, you're just so in tune,
manipulative as fuck. I do my best to not use it for evil, but it's so easy. And it's something where my therapist actually told me that the reason I dissociate so much is because I'm unable to control all of my outside circumstances. So I go to somewhere where I have total control, which is in my imagination.
Yeah. Oh, so you daydream a lot.
Disassociate, but yeah, daydream.
Oh, I'm sorry, you just said that. See, what an asshole.
Same thing. They're literally the same thing, but just one sounds smarter.
Yeah. I feel like I daydream a lot as well. Yeah, okay. Wow, I don't know if I want to say this. I'm going to say it. So, like, a lot of my job when I was working in, like, when I first started working in production, I was a production assistant, right? And a lot of your job is to just drive around. And I was living in New York City at the time. Mm-hmm. And I daydream, like, a lot. And I think that's also why, like, logistics stuff is hard for me. Because, like, someone will tell me the full rundown of what I need to do, and I will not listen to any of it. But also, like, I'm surprised that I could drive around New York City. I got into 4 car accidents over the 4 years. So, like, that's like one a year. But I got into all of them in like 1 year.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And I think part of it was like being super stressed. You're like on these like timelines, or deadlines. What I don't know what I'm saying.
There's a lot of
pressure. You're in a time crunch. There's a lot of pressure, and I would like panic and freak out, and like have. I guess it's not a daydream. I guess I would just like jump in my head to a scenario in which I haven't completed all the tasks on time and like what was going to happen, and like I feel like that's how I got into so many accidents, and also like how that job was so stressful for me because I was just immediately like. I always go to like the worst case scenario like right away. Yeah. Even in life. Maybe that's why I don't like to plan because I don't want to have like an expectation. You know what I mean? I feel like when you have to plan something out, it's like, okay, there's an expectation that this is how it's going to go. And it's always disappointing.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's like, it's like a safety thing for me of like, if I don't plan it, then I don't have an emotional attachment to it.
And then you can't get disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
You're so against being disappointed, so you just set no expectation. That bar is just low.
No standards, no expectations. And then,
And then when something good happens, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Something good happened.
It's true.
That's so interesting.
Wow, I'm psychoanalyzing myself right now.
It's incredibly introspective. There's a speaker, his name's Tony Robbins. He's super popular in like the motivational space and the guru space. And his phrase that he always says is, you got to change your expectations for appreciation and your life will change forever. So instead, just like you're living, it's not about not having a plan, but there is no expectations, but whatever happens, you're just appreciative that it does happen.
Yeah.
So if you get good food, hooray. If you get mid food, hooray.
Yes, exactly. And like, I feel like that's hard, like with, I don't know, like with comedy and stuff, because of course I do have a plan when it comes to that, right? Like you imagine, you hope that like it's going to go somewhere. Goals, not a plan, goals. But like that's like hard, and like those expectations I still have for myself, and it's like just always a heartbreaking situation.
Because you really don't want to be disappointed. And I can resonate with that because it's so hard. And then like when you do get disappointed either by yourself or by someone else, it hurts. It's like it's such a long lasting impression on one, because it's not just a sad moment. It's just like it's a different type of feeling.
Yeah. What are your ultimate goals? How long have you been doing comedy for?
I've been doing comedy for over a year, but I've taken a step back because I was feeling like I was burning out. The weirdest thing is that I can either do amazing in like work, and the podcast just kind of does itself, but I can be amazing at my professional life. I could be amazing with my physical body, or I could be amazing in comedy. But I can only do 2 at a time because one suffers. And like if I'm doing a lot of open mics and my comedy writing is getting better and I'm writing every day, my body deteriorates, or the job, or I'm not being as good as I can be at my job. So for comedy goals, I'm really trying to reevaluate like, what are my goals? I don't think I'm going to be one of the greatest comedians ever to exist, because I don't think that's my lane. Yeah. But where I love the space of personal development. I love teaching. I love training. So I want to be in that space where either, I guess, ultimate goal for me would to be, if I'm thinking about it, have my own training and development company where we go around the country and we host these seminars where we train people to kind of like better their life, maybe do some financial planning and just kind of overall improve them, not just like internally, but also externally. Okay. And we're just doing that across the country. I used to go to these seminars called the Millionaire Mind Experience. Okay. They were running programs every weekend across the U.S., and I mean every weekend. And their program to sign up at the time was like $9,000, and people would sign up in droves.
Did you pay $9,000?
I paid way more. For my personal development, I've spent the equivalent amount of money that you would spend on like a year of maybe 2 years at like a pristine school.
Oh, dang.
I was putting down money, dog.
Do you feel like it improved you?
100%.
Okay.
So as a fat, ugly, emo kid, I was super down on myself and super upset at myself, and like I would self-harm. And then when I turned 18, 19, I was being encouraged more by teachers and mentors who like saw potential in me and gave me some guidance to be like, hey, you can really become something great.
Yeah.
And eventually I found like seminars and this whole space of self-improvement, and it's helped me kind of turn my life around. And the lessons I've learned, I've been doing it for years, but sometimes it takes a while for you just to get it.
Yeah.
I would pick up new tools every year that I stayed in it. And then I saw that these companies were doing this and helping people like become better financial people, become better relationship people, start nonprofits, do all these amazing things.
Yeah.
And they were making bank.
Yeah.
I got to help in the back end, and Tony Robbins sells out arenas. So we're talking like 8,000 people, and the tickets are $600 for the bleachers.
Wow.
So you get to the main floor, and those are a couple $1,000s, and it's not about the money.
Yeah.
I would love to do something.
It's like
not
a
at
Beyonce concert. My God.
Straight up for motivational development.
Is
They
it
have
just like
music,
full of like white dudes in like business
all colors,
attire.
and they're all about like Bitcoin, investing, real estate. Like they're all super hyped up.
Exhausting.
I'm so drawn to it. I'm so drawn to that whole personality type.
Yeah, good for you.
One of my favorite movies was Wolf of Wall Street. That's what started my cocaine addiction.
That's intense. Yeah, I can see how that would happen.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times, and I was like, I wonder if that would improve my sales. And then I did it, and it improved my sales.
Well, listen, this is just good knowledge for all you people out there in sales. Just start doing cocaine. That's the secret.
And backed by Tim Dillon, backed by all these people, I am not endorsing it. I'm 3 years clean.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's fine. This is the thing. It's like you can be silly about the things that have happened to you or to the things that have happened to other people.
Wait, so you watched Wolf of Wall Street, and then you had your own Wolf of Wall Street situation, and then you got clean. Mm-hmm. That's wild. Like a whole movie.
But this was
changed the course of your life.
That's why
Leonardo DiCaprio's performance was so gripping that you were like, I will be the Wolf of Wall Street.
But now as a 28-year-old, and I'm able to reflect on like the behavior choices and the things that I idealized, I'm now realizing like all the toxic behaviors that come with it. There's a lot of positive traits that are from that thing. Like you can be tenacious, you can be somebody that like strives for the best, you can be competitive, you can do things that help others and help people become better and still make a living that's very enjoyable. Because at the end of the day, I would love to spend 6 months out of the year traveling around the world, meeting people, eating delicious food, and then 6 months working, doing these courses that I would hope with the intention of helping people become better and get out of these like negative mindsets.
Yeah, that's great.
And just help more people. That's for me ultimate goal. I know we went on a huge tangent, but like that's would be ultimate goal.
That's awesome.
And get paid.
Love that. Yeah, getting paid. Yeah, ultimately that would be great to be paid, you know?
Everybody who wants to follow their passions, their dreams, is to be able to do whatever they want to do and also be fiscally gaining from it.
100%.
And Gary Vee pushes that. He's like, I don't care if you want to sell toilets, be the best toilet salesman ever.
Yeah.
Or if your thing is like Marvel action figures, then be all about Marvel action figures.
Yeah.
And man, people make bank off of showing off toys.
Yeah. I mean, totally, they do. It's true. It's like it's like a whole YouTube genre, no? Just people
sharing toys, collectibles,
just
rare
adults,
cards.
Just being like, these are all my toys. And cars or even toys, just like big toys that we can use to get around, but also accidentally kill people, you know?
My dad's a big car guy.
Yeah.
Huge. He puts his cars into competitions and stuff.
Oh,
and
dang. That's fun.
He wins sometimes, and like it's cute because he'll post a picture with like him holding his trophy.
Oh, what a dad. What a dad moment. Love it.
And he doesn't smile. His face is just like...
obviously. You gotta...
cracked open.
Classic dad pose.
I love my dad.
Oh, that's so nice. You guys are close? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've developed a better relationship the older we got, because he had me super young, and was very machismo, very like jock type, and I was never that kind of. I wanted to be, but I could never be. I was so small, frail, sensitive.
Yeah.
So like and emotional. So like I was just not the machismo. But then the older I got, the more I understood how to communicate with him. He got better at communicating with me.
Yeah.
He had kids after me, and those really like
mellowed him out.
Yeah. He was super uptight about me like smoking and drinking as a kid, and I had a fake ID when I was like 19, and he was so upset at me for getting it. And I was like, "Did you have one?" He's like, "Yeah, I had one." And I'm like, "Then why are you mad?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Because you can get in trouble."
Yeah.
And then it's weird growing up because now I'm reflecting on all the behaviors and the things that I enjoyed and did when I was so much younger.
Yeah.
And being like, I understand the intention of it. It was just to be. I thought this is what I wanted to be. But as I got older, I'm like, that's not everything that's to life. That's not something that I want to strive for. And if I'm this person, I would hate to hurt and harm other people and then live their life thinking like I fucked up their life. Like, I've definitely made mistakes. I've definitely hurt people, but I would hate to do that intentionally now with everything that I've know and learned and just trying to be better.
That's great. This beautiful, beautiful journey.
How about you? What are your like ultimate goals for?
I would say
life?
I would love to just like be able to do comedy and stuff and get paid from that. Yeah, and I don't do it to help people. I just do it to help myself.
Heck yeah.
I don't care. No. That's like the goal. Just I would love to. In a fantasy land, would love to be on SNL. I just feel like that'd be so much fun. But
do you have any comedians that are big inspirations for you?
I don't know if it's like inspirations, but like there's a bunch of comedians that I really love their material and their jokes make me laugh a lot. It's like I love Aparna Nancherla. Do you know who she is?
No.
She's an Indian comedian. She's actually been on a lot of TV shows now. Like she was in Aziz Ansari's show. And she's on this last season of Search Party. I don't know if you watched Search. Anyway, I really enjoy her comedy. And I like a lot of newer comedians. Like I feel like seeing newer comedians kind of like get on their rise is like it helps me feel like that's possible, I guess. Yeah. Even though they're like way better than me, it's not like I just like it's good to see new faces. I really enjoy seeing new faces.
Okay.
So there's this comedian I really like, Becca O'Neill.
Okay.
I just find her so freaking hilarious. And Brittany, what's her name?
Ledesma?
No, she's great also. But there's what's her name? I can't think of her name. But she has this joke about like, she's like, I've been writing something like sci-fi fan fiction, and she's a joke about like Newton's law, and it's like it's essentially a joke about a boner, but it was like so incredibly like smart and like creative.
I love that. I love when I hear something that just really like blows my mind. And, like, a really good joke.
Yeah.
And I love hearing it, and it's cool because in Austin you were able to see people who are on like the up and coming and new people, and they'll come up with some stuff where you're like, that's a great joke.
100%.
One of my favorite Daniel West jokes is the one where he talks about Harry Potter, where he's just all like,
it's so good. It's so good. I love Daniel. He's so funny. That's such a good joke. What about you? What comedians inspire you all?
Growing up, I was a huge fan of George Lopez.
Yeah.
I loved Gabriel Iglesias, and I used to watch Jeff Dunham, the puppet guy. I thought he was hilarious.
I mean, it was like incredible how many voices he could do with his mouth completely closed,
And he would have like 3-way conversations.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I thought, and then some of the lines were like, I'm a terrorist, I'll kill you. Like that one, everybody in 5th grade would say it.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Oh, I recall. Yeah.
So those were, as I got older, I really like the writing style of John Mulaney.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Tosh is also a really great joke writer. And then Tom Segura is my other favorite. So those are my.
I love Tom Segura.
Those are my 3.
Yeah.
The Wife Loves Christina P. We actually met her the other day.
Christina P.
His wife, Tom Segura's wife.
Oh yes. Okay. So I like Tom Segura's comedy, like his stand-up, and I didn't know that he had a podcast with his wife, and I didn't know what it was. And it's so I still have like the shivers from this, but like this lady I used to live next door to, she like was like, oh, I have tickets to Tom Segura, like when the Moon Tower Festival was here. She's like, why don't we go? Like, my friend can't go anymore, and I know you do comedy. Like, why don't you come? And I was like, yes. I thought I was going to see Tom Segura stand up. No, it was his podcast where, like, they show you the videos. They did the
live show?
Oh, my God. Like,
oh, no.
And I just had no idea what I was walking into. And we were both sitting there, like, just like, what?
That's amazing.
What is happening?
I'm so jealous of you because those ones, so all his live shows, you have to pay to watch them. It's like $10, but I haven't done the thing to watch it. And they're intense. The show is a diet version of that, but the show itself, the live show, they go ham. And the one you saw was like 4 or 5 deep. They were like, let's test the waters and then let's push the envelope. And then by 3 and 4 and 5, they were doing insane things.
I truly put my head in my lap for the last, like, I couldn't look. Honestly, like, I'm a person that would be fine in life, just like never knowing what the human body is capable of. Like, I'm fine to, like, I don't need to see any of that. I'm not like, I don't even like scary movies all that much. You know, like I don't like blood and gore, and like I don't watch porn. I know that's a hot take. I don't watch porn. I know. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be, but like honestly, most human bodies disgust me. Like I love my partner because I love him. Yeah. So like his body to me is I love him. So it's safe or whatever. But like I don't watching people do like I'm just
too
like
intense.
It's too much. Like I can't. No.
That is a hot take.
Sex to me is like it's like a very physical connecting thing. Like that's what I like about it. And I don't like sex that much to be honest. Okay. I have a joke and it's slightly true, but like I haven't been horny for like a couple years now maybe. But it was like tapering off. Like I'm not like thinking about like when I was younger, it was like, you know, you go through a phase where you're like, I want to have sex all the time. Like,
yeah. Still in that phase.
Yeah. Gone for me, baby. So gone. And like, I'm fine with it. It's not, I don't really care. It's actually a little bit liberating for me to not think about it ever. But like, it's not that I don't enjoy, like I will have sex. I have sex with my partner, you know, like when he's in the mood. So like I enjoy it. It's not like, I just don't crave it.
I get what you mean. I totally get what you mean.
This is going down a rabbit hole.
This is going down a rabbit hole. It turned such a left turn.
So
amazing.
Sorry. What happened? What were we even talking about?
You putting your head in your lap because what you saw on the screen and you don't watch.
I was trying to preface, like I don't watch porn even like
that's too intense for you.
It's too intense for me.
And then you went to the live show not knowing.
Jesus. And then like one of the first, I just remember like suddenly someone was like birthing a watermelon and I was like, why? It was truly.
I'm so jealous because I would have loved to watch stuff like that. Makes me so uncomfortable, but I laugh because I'm not forcing them to do it.
No, certainly. No one's forcing. And I was, at the same token, I was like, I didn't ask for this. If I had known, I would have been like, you know what? How about we just go get a drink? Or you could take someone else because... But it was intense. It's amazing to me, like, and good for people. Like, listen, again, good for you, sweetie. I'm so glad that you're living your life, your best life. I'm just amazed that people are like, that's what you want to do. Good for you, again.
Good for you.
Just have never.
Yeah. I don't judge. I just comment.
Yeah, no judgment.
Just comments. I have questions, and I'm just that's how I run. It's like I don't care if you do it as long as you're not harming anyone or you're not like. Yeah. Obviously, the terrible things are terrible.
People were being harmed, but I guess they signed up for it. So.
Yeah, that's what they like, and it's just freaky. Oh my God, it's so scary.
Sweet Lord.
But it's fun to watch. It's fun to see. But
I think what I hate though is like I think the reason I like to look at those things is because I can't like. It will never leave my mind, and I'm already just so plagued with dark thoughts that I don't need someone else's darkness. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like that, no judgment and whatever, you enjoy it, but that comes from a dark place.
Sure.
No one, like, in a good mood is like, do you know what I want to do? I want to stick a nail right through my hard dick. Like, no one, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
don't like, that comes from
Trauma.
some kind of darkness. And I already have enough of my own like shit. I really, truly don't need yours.
Wow, I wish I would have thought about that before I dived down that rabbit hole. Because like more in my like college years, it was just something where like the internet was just kind of blowing up with things where like you can look up ISIS executions, you can look up all these crazy things, and then maybe it's just because I had stupid male friends who I love to death who were like, check this out. And I was like, oh my God, like it was, you become almost desensitized to it. So when I see it, it still makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's going to make me fall over.
Yeah.
Like, I watched The Human Centipede 2. The first one is wild.
Never seen it.
First one's wild. Second one's 10 times worse.
Oh God.
Which I already thought the other one kind of like, oh, this is the bar. This is the bar. No,
they
way
raised
higher.
It. Well, listen, that's what you got to do is you got to keep raising that bar. So one day the Human Centipede is just going to be a snuff film, and it'll be the first snuff film that ever makes it to theaters, probably.
Netflix streams it.
Oh,
Syd, this has been such a delightful conversation. I have had such good laughs on this. I loved your stories. I loved everything about the conversation. Thank you so much for being authentic and awesome with me. And like, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
How can people find you? How can they support you?
I'm at Syd SYD Goin Goin. On Instagram, I have a YouTube channel. You can find all my links on my Instagram in my link tree. And yeah, go watch Naked Brunch. It's pretty fun. I have a lot of very talented, very funny comedians on there, including you tomorrow. Very excited. So yeah. Just follow me there. And I haven't been doing many shows lately. I had COVID. Like, I'm negative now, but I had it. And I couldn't do mics for fucking 2.5 weeks. It's been torture.
So now back in the game.
Trying to get back out there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm so happy that you got on the podcast. I'm so happy that you're so this just amazing firecracker of like an ambitious person that's just crushing it and following their dreams and doing what they love and having conversations with strangers and getting to know some cool other people. And I love it. You're doing amazing things and thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much. And you're doing amazing things as well. I love this podcast and I love that you're just trying to get out there and help people improve upon themselves.
That's the goal.
What a glorious goal.
That's the goal.
Any goal is a whole. Anyways, thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Carpe Natem Podcast. If you love this episode, please consider leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Music or iTunes. It takes 30 seconds for you, but for us, it helps spread positivity to more people during these chaotic times. It helps build a community, and it makes me smile from ear to ear. Speaking of community, we have a Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Carpe Natem. Just answer the 3 questions to get access to some extra motivation and inspiration for your timeline. If you would like to support this podcast, screenshot this episode and share this to your story. Tag me at Carpe Natem 114. That's going to be my handle across all platforms, including TikTok, if you'd like to give me a follow. If you haven't already, please rate us and subscribe on Spotify or anywhere you enjoy your podcasts. And lastly, you can find all episodes, linked to resources, and opportunities for coaching and mentoring from me at carpenatem114.com. I cannot thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. You are all rock stars taking the necessary steps to be your best self, willing to do whatever it takes, and ready to grab life by the butt cheeks. So until next time, this is Nate Hoya-Reynoso signing off.